Welcome to the Marshall Pro Podcast presented by Cooper Tires. This episode we have some more sounds of Sebring. This is actually my favorite session that would be qualifying where the classes are separated. So rather than having dozens of cars on top of one another, a little bit harder to pick out what is what. Went out and captured specifically GT Le Mans qualifying. As I've mentioned before, and you might have heard me say, my favorite class, my favorite sounds. GT Le Mans in IMSA's WeatherTech SportsCar Championship, the twin-turbo V6 Ford GTs, the flat-six Porsche 911 RSRs, Corvette's big old monstrous earth-rattling V8s, BMW's truly bizarre, super hushed, alien-sounding twin-turbo V8, and also a Ferrari twin-turbo V8. Just amazing, delightful sounds. Incredible how twin-turbo V8s from a couple different manufacturers can sound so radically different, but altogether really easy to pick out what is what. And those Porsches, they're just incredible. And also while out there, decided to grab the prototype qualifying. So we had the WEC P2s using their Gibson V8s with that high revving V8, and then the four different DPIs from Cadillac with the big old rumbling V8, Mazda with its small turbo 4, and a pair of twin turbo V6s from Nissan and Acura, and even those sound different. So interesting stuff. Captured this in turn 1, so heading down the long straight at Sebring and qualifying that super hard, super fast left-hander, and wandered around a little bit to catch the cars going through, coming out on exit, and also charging into the corner. So I hope you enjoyed both of these. I absolutely love them. It's just one of the true pleasures of the job to be able to close my eyes and listen to these machines, and also some truly, truly wicked drivers wringing their proverbial necks. You know, you can get every episode of the Marshall Pro Podcast on iTunes, on Podbean. We also post everything immediately on our Marshall Pruitt Podcast Facebook page, which I would urge you to like and sign up for. That way you will know when everything comes out. And as for the others, if you could, please subscribe on iTunes and on Podbean if you prefer one or the other. And hopefully very soon here we will also be up on Spotify as another option for you. All right, one more note while we're throwing notes at you. If you're a YouTube fan, I'm also starting to post the Marshall Pruitt Podcast episodes there. We also have our growing library of films and little documentaries that I have made, some old school races that have gone up, and other projects that I've done more recently with my friend Travis Long. So if you can there, that's another thing I would urge you to subscribe and add your name to the growing list of folks who I hope enjoy the stuff that I'm doing. All right, off we go with the sounds of qualifying at Sebring with GT Le Mans and Prototype on the Marshall Pruitt Podcast presented by Cooper Tires. And that was the sounds of GT Le Mans and prototype qualifying at Sebring. A true delight. And since I'm heading off to the Mid-Ohio IMSA round here, coming up this weekend, I will most certainly have my audio recorder with me and look forward to capturing more. And again, I hope you enjoy these, even though you might be hearing some of the same sounds a couple times within recent months. If you love these things, I figure as we go to different tracks, you're going to get different samples, different sounds. Nature of one track might be really high speed, so you hear more high revs and rolling. Others might be shorter, a little bit slower, so it's more stop-start on and off the throttle and whatnot. So anyways, I'm going to keep putting them up, and I hope you enjoy them because they make me happy. And that's maybe the other big secret. A lot of what I post on my podcast, these are just the things that I like, and definitely hope and maybe assume a little bit that you might like them too. Alright, I'm Marshall Pruitt. This is the Marshall Pruitt Podcast presented by Cooper Tires. Thank you for listening.